Today is the uh,
Today's the
12th of
12th. Yeah,
August,
12th.
and this is a training video for troubleshooting Western Union kiosk at Rite Aids and other providers. The ticket today requested a technician to check on the line which had no dial tone and no ring through. To accomplish this, a technician first went to the kiosk, which is usually at the front counter at your convenience area. For some reason, it's not facing front. You wouldn't want to ask the manager. Sometimes they put a sign on it. In this situation, it had a little out of order sign, which I removed. Uh, Once you have identified the kiosk, you want to pick up the handset, and it would automatically dial. You'll hear several beeps. If you don't get a voice prompt, it means it has no dial tone. I use a regular slim line with a coupler, and I use this to trace the line to the Western Union box. I removed the line, placed my slim line. Sometimes they do have an extra one on site, as you can see here, but it's always good to bring one. And once I plugged my slim line in, or you can use your butt set, check for dial tone. There was no dial tone at that point in time. I use my tone generator, standard tone generator, has a RJ11. Plugged it in, turned on my tone generator, as you can see there. When I plugged in my tone generator, I was able to get a continuance, which told me that it's going back to a device. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's tone on the line. What it means is that there's some form of low voltage. And I use my wand, which is this device, and traced it back to the D mark. And we're gonna walk back to the D mark. In this situation, typically the D mark is the D mark is in the rear of the building, either near the pharmacy. So I went back to the D mark. And at the D mark, I was able to locate this ASA device, which is labeled, says Western Union. Western Union usually uses port 2. Most of the time it also has a jack. And first thing I did is I plugged, again, my slim line into the line that's wiggling there. Plug my slim line into there to check to see if there's dial tone at this box. This will let me know if there's an issue with the box or with the line. When I plugged my slim line in, or my butt set, I did not get a dial tone. So the next thing I did is I went to the main line, which is this first this first position here, and for us it'll be the orange cable. And I traced it to this ATA device, and ATA device, for those who don't understand, it converts digital to analog, analog to digital. So I plug my butt set slim line into this line here. I removed it, plugged my line in, I received a dial tone. So that told me that there was an issue either with the programming of this device and the program of this device. And one of the first things you want to do, IT 101, is just power cycle. So all I did is just I unplugged this cord, this black cord here, reset that, unplug this cord, which is right here, reset that. Once it came back on, I plugged my butt set back in, got dial tone, plugged the line in. Then what I did is I used my coupler, and at the end of this orange line, I just put my coupler to make sure that this line is good. I still got dial tone, and then I plugged it back into position 1. Then finally I plugged my butt set slim line into position number 2, and I got dial tone. So that told me that this box needed to be power cycled. This box needed to be power cycled. I plugged my line back in. As you can see right now, it's going right back in. Went back to the front counter. Again, plugged my jack into, I plugged the Western Union into the jack. Well, actually, prior to that, I plugged my butt set into the jack to make sure I had dial tone in front, which I did. Then I plugged the Western Union kiosk into that jack, which we indicated earlier, and I was able to get my voice prompt. At that point in time, the kiosk is up and running. You would notify the manager would test, and then you would check out. Make sure you take pictures of the DMARC. Make sure you take pictures of this ASA device and your kiosk. Thank you.